inside the last 500 metres. This is a huge group of hugely talented men, and take a second to listen to the noise. It's deafening here at Hayward Field. Who is going to create history? This is the stadium where they say, feel the glory. Any one of these men could win it. You're watching a very, very special race here. Cheptegei, the world champion, the defending champion, driving for glory for Uganda. They'll be on their feet in Jinja, in Kampala, but they're also on their feet in Addis Ababa. Aragawi hasn't been burnt off yet. Barega's in second. Cheptegei opens up a metre. The crowd are roaring for Grant Fisher. No Americans ever won a medal in this race. Cheptegei, the world champion. Can he win it again? Last year, he was burnt up by Solomon Barega. But the champion from Doha is the champion once again. Here in Eugene. Cometh the hour, cometh the Ugandan. That is the best performance we've ever seen from Joshua Cheptegei. He was under so much pressure. Barega has had a great season. Last year, it was a 53-second last lap that cost Joshua Cheptegei the gold. This year, it's Cheptegei who's run 53.4, and that is why he is now a multiple world champion over 10,000 metres. They threw everything at him in that race, and just as he found in Doha, he had the answers. It hasn't been a perfect season, but it's been the perfect finish. I've never heard a noise like it on the last lap of a 10,000 metres. This World Championship is delivering again and again and again, and Joshua Cheptegei is the champion of the world and the toast of a proud nation on the other side of the world.
Fantastic first and third for Uganda. And what about that silver medal for Kenya, for Stanley Mburu, taking a tumble in the first 200 metres and fighting all the way back for that silver medal, celebrating there with his teammates. Ethiopia had that gold medal with Ntesabet Gide and with Kamarit Tola in the men's marathon this morning, and Barega not able to reproduce that Olympic winning form. And it's almost as though Joshua Cheptegei has spent the last 11 months thinking, how did I lose that Olympic title? I need to train in a way that can allow me to beat Barega. And in doing that, he's replicated an even better final lap than Barega turned on him in Tokyo. And through doing that, has burnt off the rest of the field, got himself a fantastic gold medal. Different nation from Gide, but similar in the way that Joshua Cheptegei, you kind of going, does he have the sprint finish? You know, that's always been maybe his Achilles heel. Until this point, Joshua Cheptegei has been dreaming of this moment for so many months. I love seeing these men just flat out sprinting down the home straight. And I'd love to see a replay and just pick apart where people position themselves in that last 500 metres, because you give away time, you give away metres, and it can really come back at you.
Well, I've rarely heard noise like it for a 10,000 metres, especially outside the African continent. Dan O'Brien, I'm not quite sure where you are in this stadium, but wherever you were positioned, surely you would agree the noise and the atmosphere for the end of that race was utterly breathtaking.
Yeah, guys, I have to absolutely agree with you. I'm proud of the American crowd here. Everybody was on their feet with 6 laps to go. And after the race finished, it was standing ovations all around, Rob. We've been waiting all championships to hear that sound, that big crowd sound. And that last lap at the 10,000 meters absolutely produced it. I talked to a number of people who had tickets and said they just came here this morning to see the 10,000 meters. And that only happens in the United States, here in Eugene, Oregon.
Great analysis there from Dan O'Brien. And what a great performance from Cheptegei and Kiplimo.
Gary Lough there on your screen, coach to Bashir Abdi, picked up that bronze medal this morning, applauding the rest of this field. Brilliant medals. hard fought race. This is earlier on. We saw that Carlos Mayo took the field through the first couple of kilometres, but it wasn't long before Ugandan athletes wanted to get the pace moving. Kiplimo, the first athlete, the half marathon specialist, just to try and stretch this field out. But as we moved through the Belmont there was still 10 athletes or so involved. We thought it was fantastic last year when we had 7 athletes sprinting for the medals in Tokyo. There was even more here in Eugene at these World Championships.
Do you know what was so fascinating about that? It felt to me, and to you I think, as though the race was beginning to play into the hands of Selimon Barega. But at this point here, Barega had a chance to come wide on the outside, but he just didn't quite have enough this time. And Grant Fisher, coming through on the inside, a whisker away from becoming the first American to win a medal in this event, but he replicates Galen Rupp's 4th place finish from Moscow, and that was quite some winning margin in the end for Jacob Kiplimo. What a race. Joshua Cheptegei. Kiplimo with the bronze, replicating his 3rd behind his teammate in Tokyo, and Mburu recovering from falling to take the silver medal. Barega, the Olympic champion, down in 5th, with Ahmed just behind him in 6th, and Aragawi, the very fast man who won the Eugene 5000 here in the summer, he was 7th. Let's see this again. Barega had the chance, but he just, on this occasion, unlike Tokyo, he just didn't quite have the gas. Joshua Cheptegei did, and that was a brilliant way in which to celebrate a successful title defence.
And what a rematch we're going to have. We see so many of these men later on in the week in the 5,000 metres. And the likes of Mo Ahmed, Al-Ghawi just falling off the pace in the final 100 metres there over these 25 laps, but 12 and a half, and much more their bread and butter internationally. But they'll have one Jakob Ingebrigtsen to contend with in that 5,000 metres if he can safely navigate the 1,500 first and the opening round of the 5,000. You'd think they've got to go fast in that if they've got someone with sub 3:30, 1,500 metre pace. But the events here, all the way from that women's hammer throw, the high quality, the high level of competition there, to 25